Hello there folks, and welcome to Bullets for Bucks. My name's Steven, and today I have something very exciting to show for you and test for you out in the field in this video. That's the Armasight Contractor 320 thermal scope. Really impressed with this, and let's get into the why. But first, let's go to the range and see how it performs. All right, now that we're back from the range, let's go over the fit, feel, function, some opinions, and the specifications of this awesome thermal scope. First off, at the rear here, you have an eye cup. This is great if you have a lot of ambient light. If you don't, you can actually remove this. Some people don't prefer it. And then you have basically a fast focus eyepiece, or this is really like a screen focus knob is what I call it. It's knurled and it's rubber, and that's gonna bring your screen into focus because this actually has a digital screen within it. Then you have a very nice high quality real metal casing that is held together with Torx head screws. You have a really heavy duty military grade coating on the scope for rust, abrasion, and corrosion resistance. I really like this like gunmetal gray color. And then on the right side here, you have a diving board little Picatinny rail so you can mount a red dot, a laser rangefinder, you name it. You have a metal knurled cap that is sealed with an O-ring that houses your USB-C port. That's your data port, so you can transport pictures and video from the scope itself. This does not take a external micro SD card or anything like that. It has internal storage, and it can store lots and lots of high quality video for you, and it works really easily by simply clicking this record button. It'll start record. In the heads up display, there'll be a little red blinking dot. Hold it down, and then it'll stop recording. Coming up in front of that record button, that's right here, you have a push button and a knurled metal knob, and that's for going through a whole bunch of different menu options, as well as setting your windage when zeroing the scope. Up on top here, you have a push down and turn clockwise knob that's going to turn onto the scope. If you turn it counterclockwise, it turns it off, and then it pops up. So it's a locking on-off switch essentially. On the other side of the scope right here, you have a knurled metal knob that's also a push button. This is your primary menu for bore sighting and a whole bunch of other settings. So you can scroll right through those settings really easily by turning the knob and then push down to select, and then turn the knob again to select those sub-menu settings, and then hold it down to exit the menu. This is also used as your elevation knob when setting the scope to 0. All the way to the left side, you have a really heavy-duty O-ring sealed cap that's screwed tightly down, and that houses two CR123 batteries, and that's what operates the scope. The battery operating time is about 4 hours, so lots and lots of time. It also has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth connectivity to an app, which is awesome for remote viewing. The eye relief on this is 45 millimeters. The overall length on this is 187.45 millimeters by 88.39 millimeters. The weight on this is actually pretty light for a thermal optic. It's only 750 grams, which makes it great for hunting, in my opinion, especially hog hunting, varmint hunting, and the like. So it's nice and compact and relatively lightweight for a thermal optic with its feature options. Optical magnification on this is set at 3.2, and it has digital zoom 1x, 2x, and 4x settings, so roughly up to 12 power in digital magnification. It's rated to withstand 50 cal recoil, so very shock resistant. It's obviously waterproof and fog proof as well. And then moving forward up the scope, you have what looks kind of like a ring right here, but this is just a piece of rubber that goes over this portion of the scope. Coming forward in front of that, you have a knurled aluminum ring here, and this is actually your parallax / focus knob right here. Also, what's really cool about it, it has locking QD levers that are really high quality, so you can remove the optic really quickly from its platform and place it on really quickly and easily. To adjust the tension on that, you simply unlock it, push on the QD lever, and then it'll push the bolt on this side out or the nut on this side out, and you just turn it counterclockwise or clockwise to tighten or loosen the tension setting on it. Really, really easy. The base is really heavy duty and comes mounted to the scope. It has a hard anodized finish, and I believe it's made of aircraft grade aluminum. What I really found impressive with this was its ease of use. Super easy to cycle through the menu. Simply hold down the left knob. A menu will come up on your left side of your display. You can cycle through the menu. Also, in that menu, you can adjust your sharpness and several other settings. Also comes with a filter cap that's attached via a little metal rubber coated wire. And what's cool is some of these other caps are as well, so you don't lose them. Let's go ahead and turn it on so we can talk about how the menu works and some of the other features of the optic here. Starts up really quick, so you don't have a lot of lag there. Also, I didn't notice a lot of glitching when viewing through the scope. On your right side, you have your angle of tilt, so you know if you're canting the rifle, which is cool. On the upper part of the screen, directly above the reticle, you have north, south, east, west, and compass readings. On the upper left, you have your color palette. On the left, you have another cant indicator. You can actually change some of these screen settings though. Lower left, you have the number of videos and pictures on the device. Lower right, capacity reading. Upper right is your battery level. So you can also change, I believe it's between 8 reticles, and you can also change the color of your reticles as well. So if you turn this knob on the left side right here, it'll actually go through your color palettes from target, white hot, black hot, and rainbow, and a couple more. If you hold it down, it's going to open up a menu on the left side here. You can go through enhancement mode. To bore sight it, you're just going to select bore sight, click down once on that same knob, and then you can adjust the reticle. It also gives you a elevation reading in MOA and a windage reading in MOA if you don't want to use the method of just holding the reticle on your point of aim and then adjusting the sub reticle to where you had impact. You're going to hold that down for a second to exit that, the right knob to save your reticle adjustments. You can cycle through and preview your images. You can change your compass settings. There's also a bunch of sub settings from imperial measurement. You can format your memory and several other settings in there, as well as turn on and off your Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. If you turn your right knob, you can cycle through your digital zoom. One thing to note is that on 4X and close ranges, like say within 100 yards, it's extremely pixelated. I will admit that, even though I love this scope. Very, very pixelated view. But once you look out like 400 yards, you don't really notice that pixelation as much. 2X is quite usable, a little bit pixelated, and 1X, very, very clear, good resolution. If you hold down that same knob, you'll be able to go through preset detect settings, crosshair options, and you'll be able to go through your color options as well as your brightness settings. And it also has a built-in range finding system. So it's not like you can hit a button and laser range find something, but you can measure objects and it'll give you the range of those objects. I shot it out to a couple hundred yards, zeroed it at 50 yards. Comes with a little target that's reflective and that works with thermal optics even in daylight, so you don't have to fuss with trying to figure out where you're aiming. I will say this, even at 50 yards though, it was quite hard to make out bullseye of the target and exactly where you were aiming on the target. So I would suggest sighting this in, at like 25 yards with the target and then just adjusting accordingly from there. But really, really liked it. Haven't had any issues with it. Absolutely fantastic thermal scope from Armasight. Just a joy to use, a lot of fun. Really, really nice, crisp and clean image, even out at 400 yards through this optic and beyond. So I do like it. It was sent to me for review. The things that impressed me with this scope is that it wasn't hard to set up and it was super easy and intuitive to use. The menu is very, very easy to navigate, much easier than other night vision or thermal optics I have used or looked at. Hope you enjoyed this review of the Armasight 320 Contractor Scope. Thanks for watching Bullets for Bucks. Check out this next video and subscribe.